Alright guys, Robert here. So I want to bring something to you a little different than what we've been bringing. Last weekend I was fortunate enough to harvest my first 2 deer with a muzzle loader. You can see that video right here. Check it out if you get a chance. So we got the deer to the processor. I picked the meat up probably Wednesday, I think it was. What I want to bring to you today is my variation of a deer chili. So I use pretty much all the same ingredients with a couple twists here and there. But what I don't do is I don't cook my chili on the stovetop. I cook my chili in a pressure pot. And the reason why I do that, the pressure inside the pressure pot forces that seasoning into the meat and forces it into the beans. It makes the beans really tender. It brings a different flavor to it. Also, you're not using near as much stuff as you would on the stove. You've got one pot. That's all you got to worry about cleaning up afterwards. So it's super simple. What I want to do is I'm just going to walk you through some of the process on it and let you see how I cook it. So yeah, we're going to get the meat out of the wrapper, we'll get it into the pot, we'll start browning the meat, we'll add some seasoning, and then we'll add everything else. We'll turn the pressure pot on and I'll show you what we got. So a couple of the seasonings that I use that's pretty typical is, of course, McCormick chili powder. I love that. I love minced onions. I love onions. I love onions in my chili. Sometimes I'll use whole onions and I'll cut them up. Minced onions I kind of put in everything, so it's pretty cool. Of course, you can't have a proper chili without beans. You've got to have beans. Tomato sauce or tomato juice. Got to have tomato juice in there. I also have some salt and pepper and some other seasonings that I like to use on my meat that brings out some good flavor. And then another thing I add to my chili is I'll add a can of Rotel. The Rotel adds a little bit of kick to it. It also has some green chilies and some tomatoes in it, so it just adds that kick. So the pressure pot is heated up. And so what we'll do now is we're going to unwrap the meat. We'll drop it in there and start browning it. This is just deer burger. When I get mine processed, what I like to do is they add fat to it, so it's not just super lean. It's got just a little bit of fat to it. So we'll drop that down in there. Mix that up a little bit. So we'll let that start browning, and then I'll start adding some of the seasoning. One season that I use is one that's made here locally in Arkansas. It's called What's This. It's an all-purpose seasoning. You use it as just a regular dry seasoning or as a rub on like steaks. This stuff is great. It's got a really good taste to it. I put it on just about everything from chicken, chili, burgers, whatever. This stuff, like I said, it's made here locally in Arkansas. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. Definitely check it out. Definitely get you some of this and try it. It's some really good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep browning this, and then we'll add some seasoning, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. So let's get this browned. So as you can see, I got the meat browning in here pretty good. Before it gets too brown, while there's still a lot of the juice in there, what I like to do is start adding some of the meat, or some of the seasoning. I'll start with this What's This seasoning, and I'll add quite a bit of it. That way it cooks into that meat really good. Like I said, I could love minced onions. I'll add a bunch of minced onions to it. Cannot go wrong with onions added to your food. And minced onions is so easy. Sometimes I'll buy the frozen chopped onions. That's pretty good. It's pretty easy to do as well. So we're going to mix that up pretty good. But I've done inside this pressure pot, I've done everything from, of course I do chili all the time. I've done lasagnas, I've done pastas. The pressure pot is just so awesome as far as what it could do. And like I said, there's just a different flavor that it brings because of how it cooks it. So now we'll add some of this. And of course you have to have some regular black pepper and salt. Add a little bit of black pepper. We'll add some salt. Now some people might think I'm adding too much seasoning, but I was born and raised in South Texas and grew up in parts of Louisiana. I love my seasonings. I don't take seasoning lightly. So we're going to let that keep browning, then we'll add our beans, we'll add our tomato juice, and then we'll add our chili seasoning. So let's get this brown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more minced onions. Like I said, I like onions. You can't go wrong with onions. And with the minced onions, it's really hard to add too much. At least I haven't found the limit yet. Stir that up really good. Mix it up. Put that in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our tomato juice. I usually do a pound of burger, and I say burger, it's a pound of venison deer meat, and then a 46-ounce can of tomato juice. So we'll mix this up with the meat, and now we'll add our 2 cans of chili beans. Now we'll add in our rotel. You can, sometimes I'll do the hot rotel, sometimes I'll do, depending on who I think is going to eat it all. My wife doesn't really like super spicy food, so I'll do the mild for this one because she loves the chili. And now what we'll do is we'll add some chili powder to it. And I'll tell you, my favorite part about chili is not necessarily the chili as I fix it, but the day after when I can make chili dogs with it. Oh my word. So mix in this chili powder. I'll bring you over here so you can see what this looks like a little bit. So you can kind of see right there already how that's looking. Man, that's looking good already. So we're going to mix that up a little bit better, and then we're going to put the top on it. We'll set the timer on the pressure pot, and we'll let it go, and then it'll beep when it's done. So we're going to lock our lid on here. We'll lock the lid. We'll close the shut-off valve. We're going to do chicken and meat, and we'll leave it on 15 minutes. So while that's building up pressure, it'll build up pressure, then it'll start to count down. We'll let it cook for its 15 minutes, and then we'll let it cool for a couple minutes, and it'll be ready to serve. Best damn chili, I'm telling you right now. It's some good stuff. Definitely check out, like I said, check out the link for this What's This seasoning. Really good stuff that goes with just about everything. Like I said, the link's in the description below. Check them out. Order you some. Really good. So yeah, we're gonna let this build up pressure and go. Okay, so we just hit zeros, letting us know that it was done. The beeping, I turned the beeping off because the beeping was kind of loud. But so we just hit zeros. It should be done cooking. So what I like to do is, you got to be careful because it is a lot of pressurized a lot of pressurized steam in there, so you got to be careful as far as how you let the air out of it, or let that steam out. It can burn you. It's super hot, so you got to be super careful with that. Make sure that's off. Make sure that's off. I'll usually use a pot holder because, like I said, when you release the steam from the valve, it is super hot. So we'll take this and we'll turn that. Yeah, that is super hot, so you got to be careful about that. And just let that steam die out. Let it drop all the way down. And then I'll be able to show you what the end product is right here. Okay, so pressure's just about died all the way off. We'll go ahead and unlock it. Stop. And there we go. Move this out of the way. I'll bring you in here a little closer. And you can see some of the best chili. Deer chili cooked in a pressure pot does not get much better than that. My daughter's apparently watching something funny. And that's it right there, folks. That is some of the best chili you have. Take some cheese, you put cheese over the top of it, eat it with some crackers, and it's ready to go. Cannot beat chili in a pressure pot. There's the deer meat. It's done. It's got it in the bowl. We'll add some cheese to it, grab some crackers, some sweet tea, and like I said, you cannot go wrong cooking deer chili in a pressure pot. That pressure forces those beans to be super tender, forces all that seasoning inside of them. It just makes for a better chili. Highly recommend cooking it this way. So leave a comment below if you have a recipe that you like using deer meat. If you want to see more videos, let me know. I love cooking. I love cooking with wild game, rabbit and fish and deer and squirrel and all that. I love cooking with wild game. It's just, you can't go wrong. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Like I said, we're almost at 260. We're at 259 right now, so making a push to 300, which is awesome. We'll be hitting the deer woods hard in the morning, like I said, doing some rattling. Hopefully see y'all in the tree tomorrow. So till the next one.